All right. So we're trying by EA for the first time th- live that is. Tried it several times in a test mode. Now I'm testing in a live mode. Overall, direction's going down, right? CCI levels at the top, so should get pull back to the mid right here and then should drop. But if you look at the hour, it kind of did break the trend, or did it want to bounce? So we don't know if it's going to bounce here, like go up like this, or just keep going down to this area. But it's safer to sell because this basically is an OSR if you're buying outside range here where you don't have a lot of um, demand for it to bounce. All right, so I'm gonna start with added some sales here. Didn't all go through. Like you see, I think this was a 10 TP one. It's because the spread. So I should probably spreads about 332 pips. So add it back here and change this, say it's acceptable. So on the moment, this is a up candle right here on the 15. So likely to basically hit this. So we're gonna wait for it to hit the wick right here or go all the way to here. So I don't want to add here, but I do want to add right here. Okay, because that is a small fractal right here. Uh, and I'm still in my layer one. So like right here, as it reaches up, and I'll add. And you can see it also touched the Bollinger on the 1 minute. So right there, I'll add, go ahead and add a 2 pips or two trades here. Add a 5 TP, see if I can get this pullback right here. If not, that's full pullback. So usually if this is a fractal, it'll come back to test the breakout, which is 5 pips. I might not come to here, but I should get this one. I should, but we don't know yet. Now if you're doing like Sean, where basically 3 pip scalps, then even easier to hit. what I want to see though is it stops right here and then starts breaking like this and then build as a momentum trade where basically rejects this candle. So you have a 15 minutes like green candle like this, 15 minutes red, maybe another 15 minutes. So it might take another hour before it does this. Okay, that's if it goes in my favor. Now let's think about what happens if it goes against me. Well, it still does the up candle. Now does this. There's one, two, three, four, like this. Okay, so it should get a bounce here, because that's the pivot area. This was the last breakout area. But if not, this is your zone right here. This is making sense. This is your supply zone. And your Bollinger is right here at the very top here. It's also a big number right here being on UJ. The zero point 0.5 is like a whole number on the EU. Okay. So at the moment, this is a good sign for sells because it's hit it at least right here 3 times, and 3 times we should get a bigger drop. So just based on how it's stalling like this, I'm going to add more like this and keep it under my level 1. Now I have here a 1 to 10 max leverage, so I won't be able to add too much, being that, okay, if I want this is my level 1, uh, then I want to keep, like I said, this area as my level 2. So I start selling here at the fractal, being that if this is the candle, this is the fractal. Any questions so far? Well, Ronald, I see you on mute, but I don't hear you. I think one of the trades, no, it didn't. Okay. Anyways, point here is not great because so far if I risk 0.414 and I make 0.02, the risk to reward is not that good. But as far as an overall, keeping it less than 1 risk is good. So you kind of um, have to, that's a personal choice. You know, what is your risk and what is your reward? Because if you're going for, let's say, 0.25 and you risk 0.14, but you made 0.25, that's a 1 to 2 risk reward, which is really, really good. All right, so there's that 5 TP kind of sort of hit, but uh, based on spread, it doesn't hit. So right now the spread is not great. Normally the spread is under 2, but tonight it's over 3 pips that is. But keep in mind I'm in a demo account, so the spread is going to be higher. But in my Darwin account, the spread it's like thin like this. It's only like 0.2, whereas right now it's like 3. Let's see. For me, I have it's like zero point 0.4 for me right now in Darwin. So as far as spread, pips. And as a scalper, that's more ideal is you have you pay the commission for a lower spread, but this account this is actually a faked number because demo accounts don't have commission. It's just that I have right here entered $5 commission per trade. Okay, so it's calculating that, but once it closes, then this keeps staying empty on a demo account. All right, so there it is. And what I'm trying to do is get like the Magneto. It's just this right here, it's not smart enough to do a exclusive. So it's saying from this, I want a range, either plus or minus. But sometimes I want the range right here and not this. Or I want from here to here, but not this and not this, or whatever, right? Um, So I'm thinking of redoing some of this as I use it. And also the same thing with close. It's like I don't want to close all of my profits. Like let's say I caught the sell and I want to keep these profits, but I want to close these profits. Well, I either have to do it manually or it hit a TP. So I can say, hey, within let's say 5 pips, it hit. This was my TP, and then it hit. So when I was thinking through this, I was like, okay, yeah, this works a lot better than before. And then as you use it, it's like, ah, man, I want some extra changes or how it behaves differently and stuff. There's no way right now to, you know, um, it like cells, I have a plus meaning these trades and minus with meaning these trades. But anyways. That's a whole different topic. All right, so this is about to hit. So I can basically peel off on my loss, which is right um, here, the one I entered here. So not here specifically, but price wise there. So yeah, right there. This is the only like loss, and if I um, am planning like in case it goes like this, then the best shot is to take this off and peel one off like that. Okay. That is a better risk management. But for me, because I'm saying I'm light and I'm willing to go heavy here as my L2, I don't need that. Okay. And so now you can see here, my best was a 1-to-1, but I didn't take it. So right now I'm gaining about 0.03 and there's no risk. So that's one improvement I kind of made. Um, And you do have a choice as far as how to calculate this risk, being you can do right here based on highest equity. Okay, so let's say at some point your equity curve is like this, and now it comes back. Well, this right here is now your risk because this is how Darwin calculates it. But if you're doing it based on a net on the balance, well, you have no risk because you're still profit. You're still in positive. This makes sense. So you'll see the scenario where both of these numbers are populated. So this is positive right here, but this is negative. So you're risking from your highest equity, but you're positive from your daily balance. Now, if you only care for a daily return, then you would obviously put this as false like this, and then you would not see this number. It would just be empty. So that's the concept behind it. All right. So this is a scalp. It touched the body right there. I was expecting it to touch the wick, but if it's doing a high low, then this right here could come up as a fractal right here in the next 11 minutes if it goes against. But if you look here, it's lower highs. This right here is now range. So if sales has really taken over, it won't let it pass this. The overall structure will say, hey, look, I'm in my range. I'm going to come back to the bottom of the range and then I'm going to break out, drop. So that's the idea. Good, Ronald. Zero risk. So I'm assuming you have some profits to buffer it. Yeah. All right. So this is where if I want to do a build, then I will add here, but it's not the right time. It's not the right time because it's early and there's your reach. And if it's going to continue down, or sorry, continue up, then this was it, and it does this. Okay, so this is not the time to build. The time to build is when the 15-minute starts closing, and especially when the next 15-minute pulls back and starts doing it. So this is the time to build right here. Is this making sense? You have to time the market. So the whole point of builds is knowing when and where. So the where is because it's rejecting a pullback, okay? And the when is because anytime it stops the market, look, it does not do it in one move. It does it in, it's like, hey, I'm slowing down. I stopped. See, it took 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Does that make sense? So you did not build right here on the 30. If this was the 15 for the range, it basically is going to take another hour, like I said. Now, if you can scalp it, that's fine. You can like, hey, as it pulls up, sell. But if you're gonna sell right here, that's dangerous because it can go against you. Okay, you're gonna sell right here. That's not so bad because hey, look, fractal comes back. You get out, break even. Does that make sense? But best place to sell is the fractal. The best place to sell is your 2x fractal. So on the 1 minute, This is your 2x. It's also what? An hourly swing zone. So on the 15 right here, this is the closest zone. And we are at the bottom of that zone. But as it comes up, this is the better time to sell because it's the body. This is the best time to sell because that's the top of that zone. Okay, and this Bollinger right here might come down like this. All right, and if these sales don't work out, well, again, the drawdown is not that bad because as it comes up to here, that's your next zone. So I'm gonna zoom out here. So your next zone now is this one. So the top of this zone is the bottom of this zone. You see that? As it comes to the top here, it's the bottom here. That's how zones work. So if you're selling right here, again, not so bad because as it comes up and then it comes back, look, these actually can be closed as small profits. But if you're selling right here, the best you can get is a break even. So that's why, hey, look, you guys are not looking at where and when to do something. You're just seeing where. Okay, you're only saying where based on what Trade the Fund teaches with action points. But that's a level, that's a skill set one. Okay, a skill set one is just knowing action points, bodies, wicks. That doesn't take a lot of thinking. That's okay. Skill set two now is where you can start to see the fractals. Okay, so it's the same action points, but better ones. So now you're starting to incorporate when, but you haven't figured it out yet, but you still have at least the where piece. Okay, so it's skill set one, you don't know when. So you don't know the when as a skill set one. As a beginner, you don't know when to do something. Here, you're starting to figure it out. But as a skill set three, more advanced, then you got it. You have to know the when and the where. Okay, but you're still on a fade, meaning that the trade goes against you, you just get heavier. You still haven't learned momentum trading. Okay. Now, skill set four is when you try to just do builds, but these go wrong. Okay. You try to do your builds but you get it wrong. Okay. Skill set five is where it gets better because now your skill set five here, you know how you do your builds and you can get the bigger returns. Okay. The only problem though is you still got big losses. Okay. And same thing with here, skill set four, you still got some big, like really big losses. Because builds are not easy because it takes knowing when. It takes knowing when to do it. All right, so this right here, again, it's early. It's just the reach for the 32 right here. See, or sorry, 38 fit, which is the what? Wick. It's reaching for this wick. So there we go. So these right here, I scalped. Okay, I should at least reduce my risk. See that? So now I at least locked in 0.08, sorry, read that wrong. 0.26 profit. See? But now this is a hey, look, I'm going all the way to the 50 and oh man, all my trades are off. Okay, so all of them hit. So now it's like, okay, that was look, I hit the goal and see this is great trading right there. For trade the fun kind of trading, I'd be done right there. Just in what, 30 minutes. See that? How? How am I knowing when to be done? Because this is a when and a where. First off, the where is Bollinger, mid. Okay, the where part is the supply zone, and then the when is your CCI and it's your ADX. ADX right here is going down. CCI is at the top, and right here, these are but again, that's the CCI. So again, that's a knowing when to go heavy. So as it pops right here, that's not the time to sell. Okay, if you sell right here, well, guess what? What if it reverses? You're just putting risk. Does that make sense? Now, if it comes like here, again, that's also not the time to sell because it's early. It's early for the next candle. Okay. So, Ronald, if you don't have enough confidence, it's okay. That's the whole point is to build your confidence and start raising your skills to at least an S3. And I'll tell you, this is actually pretty easy. Okay. But you'll get the smaller returns, and so you'll get, like very small. Uh, but if you want the bigger returns, you have to know when. You have to know when. You have to be able to do this kind of thing. This kind of curve takes skill set 5 or 6. So again, this is a rejection, but it's early. Like I said, it's early. So what you'll start seeing is it comes on to here, it pops some more, and then if it stops right here, stalls kind of thing, like right here, if it starts stalling, then that's your build. Now we're getting into a skill set 4. It's now a build right here. As it pops here and stalls right here, because look, if this is your 50, from here to here, then guess what? It's gonna try to retest this 50. Makes sense? It's gonna want to try to get to here. And if it stops right there and starts coming back down, this is where I want to buy. Or sorry, sell. Uh, because this is now the win and the where. So there it is. There's a pop. If I had better spread, I would have scalped that. Oh, freaking hell, man. It's too busy explaining. I forgot the TP on my other account. Sorry, I gotta manage it. Okay, now this is what I'm looking for. So now this is the time to add right here. So I'm adding, and you see I maxed out. It didn't let me add more. So it did go a little bit over because based on the logic, the trade didn't place yet, and it still went through. And then as the trade's placed, over. But if I want to go heavier as a build, I go to 1 to 20 right here, and now I can add more like this. All right, so this is playing through now. Where is it going? To retest this first body here, but based on the Bollinger, it should go all the way to right here. Okay, so if you watch the Bollinger, it just helps you because this is a it's a momentum build right here to reach down for this and here, which is lower. Okay, so this now look, I have basically no risk, and now this is one of those trades where, well, if I am trying to go S5 is for a skill set, then I go heaviest with the momentum. So this is this is what David would say is bad PTP. And I'm like, screw him. I know when to get my trades. And in Darwin, I'm over 1% in less than 1 hour. Okay, I'm at 1.7 actually. I'm close to 2%. But the whole point is in an hour, I can get 2% return. Guess what? That is really good trading. And how much risk did I like less than 0.5? So it's a 1 to 4 risk return. So what if I added right there? I knew the momentum would take me to profits. And then I just peel them off like this. I just peel off the closest trades and reduce the risk. But look at here. I'm right now at 1%. So in 30 minutes, 1%. But this is what I'm talking about. Hey, look, you've got to know the when and where of trading. And how do you develop that? Well, uh, I did it through sheer quantity before I did quality. Okay, that's how there was an analogy. It said there was um, give me a second, just close all real quick. Just keep my profits. But look at this. How much did I risk? 0.28 for 1.3. So that's like a zero point 0.3 to 1.3. That's 4 times. Like I said, it's a 1 to 4 risk reward, which is super, super good. Okay. I'm not saying that to ring my own bell kind of thing. I'm just saying as overall as a trader, 1 to 2 is really good already. 1 to 3 is even better. 1 to 4 is like exceptional because you're not gonna see that kind of stuff, swing traders very often. Okay. But if you scalp properly, you can get it. Excuse me. Okay. So now, how do you develop the skill? Well, uh, the analogy is that there was like a pottery class, and the teacher divided the class, right? Class side A and side B. On one side, teacher said, do it for basically perfection, for quality. You're going to be judged on quality. Okay. And on the side B, uh, do it for quantity. Just do make as many pots as you can. Doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's great, you're gonna be graded based on quantity. So the more pots you made, your higher your score. It's like scoring points, right? So at the end of the year, which side do you think won in terms of quality? The quantity side, B, or the quality side, A? You can put in the chat which one you think won. Which side had the best pottery? You would think it's quality, right? The side focus on quality makes the better ones, but it's actually the side that did this because it's natural. The more you do, you have an innate desire to improve. So the more you do, the quality goes up. So you will have both when you have quantity. And so that's why they say, how do you find the best traders? Look at how long they've traded because it's about quantity. The one who's traded longer has more quantity of trades and they will become better traders because they've seen more of the market. They've seen both the good, where it's just going all in their favor and the bad where it just never seems to work out. Okay. The quality will not get you quality. Because uh, you're so focused on quality that you're afraid to fail. Oh, what if I mess up? I'm not going to try it then. But if you're focused on quantity, you're not afraid to fail. The more you fail, the more you succeed. That's the duality of life. In life, everything is balanced. Everything is A and B. You never get one without the other. If you want failure, or sorry, if you want success, you will meet it with failure. Okay? If you want, uh, let's say, pretty, well, guess what? This ugly. There's points when you've gone through it where it wasn't so pretty, or it counterbalances somewhere else. So in trading, it's the same thing because guess what? For you to buy, somebody else has to sell. For you to profit, somebody else has to lose. It's duality. You will not have one without the other. This is a law of this universe. If you want to breathe in, but you don't breathe out, you still die. If you breathe out, but you don't breathe in, you're going to die. The only way you're going to live is when you have both. You got to go have in and the out. The in and the out. And you're going to have the ups and the downs. That's the duality of life. So guess what? Lose more. That's what I say. How do you learn how to become a better trader? Lose more. And then people take me for a joke, but they don't understand the law. I say sarcastically at first, like, hey, lose more. But it's really this right here. This is the law of the universe. If you lose more, you will win more. Why? You're not gonna want to lose. The more you lose, the more you're gonna figure out how to win, and you're gonna keep winning. But guess what? When you're like in streaks of wins, because you paid for it in streaks of loss, you already paid the price. Does that make sense? Well, obviously, if you just do it to be wrong, um, you're not gonna get better. The whole point of it is that this is based on you wanting to be better, that nobody wants to lose in trading. Okay. But that's the whole purpose is if you are gonna lose and not be afraid of it, you will then get the very prerequisite is quantity of trades. Because you are too afraid, you're not gonna put on enough trades to know. So you're gonna be stuck at a skill set one, skill set two, because you don't have quantity. The more you push your limits, you get into skill set threes. Okay. These are not fun right here because that means you're having to go heavy when it goes against you. But now you're going to get advanced. And then once you figure that out, well, guess what? You want to other ways to learn and make your money too. Well, you got to get even more advanced. It takes even more quantity to get to S4, 5 and 6. And it takes even more losses here because these right here lose even more than these. So it's like this is like your small loss. This is your bigger loss. This is going to get your bigger losses. This is going to get your biggest losses. So that's why I say if you want to trade better, learn to lose more. The bigger losses will get you bigger wins. Because if I risked 1%, I can make 2%. But if I'm going to only risk 0.1% and I'm trying to make 2%, it's way, way hard. Okay. It's a mentality thing. So if you first say, I'm gonna go out and say lose and just fight, like let's say you're wanting to be a fighter, like karate or something, and you only fight opponents that you win, you're not gonna be very good. Okay. A really good fighter has had tougher opponents. So until you have the quantity and until you have a tougher, you're not gonna get better. Okay. Anyways, that's enough for the principles. Now is the time to start looking for what? One, two, body close below momentum. So yes, this is on a lower, but look, this should start turning down like this. And it is right here. So now we add to it this, and I want to reduce my risk. Um, I don't want to add too much right here. Actually, I want to stay under 110, but I want to build for it because it hasn't touched my Bollinger here. So if you do a fib in the reverse direction, take off the trades here. See, it's at 23, but a lot of times it will try to come back to 50 or 38 here. See, it's bouncing. All right, now we add max for loud. There it is. Okay, so that it got me now to level 2 right here because this to me is a momentum trade. Look, it hit the supply zone. It should drop, but this is where look, if it goes wrong, I have profit as a buffer. So the only reason I can do an L2 at the bottom is because I have profit to pay for it. If I have zero profit, I'm not going to do that. Does that make sense? So this is the again, knowing the when to do something. So if I had zero profit on the table and I started selling right here, well, first off, not a great place to start selling. I would only put like one trade here and maybe two here and start. This is my entire level 1. Oops. Okay, and I want to concentrate my cells up here, which is right here at the Bollinger. That's where I want to sell and have my L1. So now if it goes really against me, I can do my L2s or my L3 uh, at the next Bollinger and I can get out and profit. Okay. But because I have profit right here, I can afford to be an L2 here. It goes against me. I can cut and still be in profit. But see, look, now I'm in profit even more. See that? Now it's going up. And how much am I risking? From my equity, I'm only risking 0.12, but I'm overall only risking my profit. Does that make sense? I'm not going to risk loss. I'm only risking profit. So that's the whole point of being a win is now I got my profit out of the way. Now I'm showing you skill set 4, skill set 5, skill set 6. I started here at an L2, and a skill set 5 would be, hey, now I got to fix it. That okay, it doesn't do the the pennant or the flag right here, but now it goes up against me. How do I fix that? Okay, the first part is I still have a few more trades before I have to change leverage to the next block. Okay, if I was spreading it out, then I could do like a 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 30. Okay, if I spread it out, but I didn't do that. Instead, I did a 1 to 20. That means the very next one here, I have to be 1 to 50 if I'm going to fix the trades. And then if it really goes against me, I simply cut. But again, I'm only cutting what? Profit, profit. Okay, not taking any risk. Darwin will ding you though if you do this kind of stuff because, like I said, they count it based on this equity, so it has risk. So you got to know when and where to do it and what type of accounts. So if this is like your personal account and you're trying to grow it, so instead of the steady, like slow like this, you're trying to go faster, then this is the kind of stuff to do. But that's assuming you've done plenty of losses and you know how to fix. And you've got to get rid of the fear. If you're too afraid to add, don't do this stuff. Just stick with skill set 1 to 3, which is all about fading. Okay, that's way easier. And this is why David And Sean teaches that because honestly, it's like blind kind of thing. Like, hey, all you gotta know is where. All you have to start with is where. When you get into this level, you gotta know when, not just where. You gotta know when. All right, this is working out right here, but again, it's early. I have 7 minutes left, and this candle for 7 minutes already has not broken. Okay, but if it starts where the this right here starts um, hugging like this, and the ADX starts drop or rising, I mean. So what you'll see is the CCI starts going down again, and it just keeps staying on the bottom like this right here multiple times. Then I will add, and now I would actually basically jump to a level 6 because now or skill set 6, sorry, because I would be 1 to 30 at the bottom. Okay. But this is what I was talking about. Hey, look, it could pop up. It did it once. Now it's doing it twice. If it starts rejecting right here, then I will add, sorry, just processing a lot of things and left her hanging. I was saying if this right here on the 1 minute starts dropping again, then I would add right here as a win, being that this now is doji. There's a possibility the next candle could try to doji it and try to do the flag right here. But the idea is that based on the body, based on the body, cells has more. All right, so there's that pop that I was kind of waiting for. Now I'm scalping here, and that maxes me out at point 120 leverage kind of thing. So I can still add, which means, sorry, I'm trying to manage two accounts here. So my Darwin I'm adding, but again, I'm light in my Darwin just because, like I said, in Darwin I trade differently because it does ding you for this risk right here. And I've realized after some hard lessons instead of, like hard learned in the sense that, hey, I was too stubborn because in Darwin, the most you have is 1 to 30. And if I max out at 1 to 30, well, that what that does is now it raises my risk factor to 10. So that means I have to earn 1% in my parent to get 0.1 in my duplicated account. And so what I would get paid for is 1/10 of my earnings. And the whole point of me going heavy 130 is try to get heavier and more earnings. But it was working against me. All right, so this is what I was talking about right here. So now, again, I add to the builds. Ah, dang it, I maxed out. So this again is a skill set 6. It's a build. It's a momentum build. But I'm adding scalps. But this is how you would get 2%. Okay, by risking what? Almost 1%. So if I risk 0.7 and I get 1.8, That's like what, over a 1 to 2, right? Which is really good. Okay. But the moment I put on the trays, especially if I timed it wrong or like this right here, I was a little bit heavy and it kind of popped slightly against me like that, then yeah, that's what happens. But again, as far as this risk right here, this is up based on equity. If I did it based on balance, the most I ever risked was zero point 0.4 based on balance, daily balance. Okay. But this was really what I was waiting for right here was this drop right here and this forming three candles. Because when three candles form on the 15, you will get a fourth and usually a fifth and sometimes a sixth. Okay, so these are having to break here. I'm gonna move the targets down. It's not moving it. Sometimes as technology, it's it's hard to code these things and make it work. This is what I was trying to do here because this is not hitting based on the spread. So and based on this momentum, it should drop more. And what I'm watching for now, like I said, this is an outside range, so it should go for a while. But you can see we're past this right here, so it should go to the point minus 0.5 percent change, which is right here. That's why I'm moving my TPs down slightly, and you really have to scroll out. You see, so it passed the pivot right here already. I'm looking for um, basically this right here or this one right here. So those are your bounce points. And as far as a 15 minute, this is a fractal right here. So guess what? As an hourly swing, it should tonight, later tonight, come all the way down to minus 1% change. If this is going to fractal and say, hey, look, I'm going to break that range, then it wants to come down to here. This is the next zone right here. Okay, if you draw the zone, this one right here, okay, and then this right here. So this is where the bounce point is. There's really nothing here, okay? So it once it breaks this, it's just gonna keep going. But it won't do that. What it will do is it'll break, come back, and then channel down like that. Make sense? But there you go. Look at that. 3%, almost 3%. That's the highest. And I could close this out and just round it out. But the point is, let's say I close it right now, and in my Darwin, I'm over 2.4 now. Okay. Um, anyways, so what if I risk zero point 0.7 right here? I'm rounding. I made 2.9, basically 3, right? Again, that's a 1 to 3, which is really, really good trading. Okay. And how long did I do it? 1 hour, which is exceptional. Okay. And some people say, well, you're too aggressive. No, I know when to go aggressive. It's controlled, right? It's Um, Ronald, Darwin will never show you point zero risk factor. It will always have at least point zero 0.01. So I don't know what, uh, oh, he's saying X% risk. I don't know. It has to be after calibration. Okay. So while it's calibrating it, you won't get the risk factor. All right. But anyways, I'm pretty much gonna end this session tonight early at a 1 hour because it's like I don't know what else to teach y'all. Um, unless you have some questions, then we can stay on and answer those questions. I just remember in my Darwin, it took me about like a week or two after calibration before I started seeing any risk factor. Because you actually have to put some trades on for the um the silver account. Okay. Do you have any other questions that's trading related? Okay, so no questions then. All right, so hopefully you got a lot out of this and knowing when and where to do things. Um, but if I'm not clear, I'll become clearer because as I teach and get people's feedback and stuff like that, I'll improve. And what does it take? Again, it takes first quantity. It takes first quantity. It always precedes quality. If you try to do quality first without the quantity, um, you're just shooting yourself in the foot because you're basically doing it from a negative, from a fear factor that you won't have quality because you're so afraid to fail that you will fail because what you're trying to avoid is what you're thinking about. Okay, so that's why it's like if you lose, it's like, hey, try to intentionally lose and you'll see that you'll win. It's just because the energy is that um, you'll start seeing those wins. And when you're trying to lose, it's just like again, like based on the duality, you'll have both. So the more you try to lose, the more you will win. The more you risk, the more you will get reward. It's just hand in hand. Yeah, there's no way to avoid it. Okay. All right. Good luck with the trading and have a good night.